What up, Dokkanners? We have humongous news when it comes to the banner's release. It is starting soon after this video gets posted. It's probably already out by the time you're watching this. 6 a.m. PDT is in fact what their intended time was for me and my time zone. If you want to know exactly what time it's going to be dropping for you, click the new Dokkan Wiki link is in the description down below, and you will see what time it is dropping for you in your time zone. This is dropping July 23rd, 6 a.m. PDT. That is 11 hours before Global's typical daily reset. That is 2 hours before JP's typical daily reset. Why are they doing it this way? I have no idea. But the biggest win of all is the fact that you are going to be able to, for 4 hours, be able to summon for the part 1 banners or the part 2 banners while the part 1 banners still have their super multi discounts active. I am recording this before the banners go live, and notice how the discount is still going on for over 5 hours. So when the part 2 banners actually release, some of you might be able to get away with this. If you're able to pull these new characters with your early summons, you might be able to go back into the part 1 banners and focus on whichever character you might not have been able to pull with that super multi discount intact. I didn't think that they would do this. I thought that this would be super anti, making money, but they're doing it. So it's a 4-hour window. That is your interval. So take advantage of that. If you do have stones saved up for all this, do take advantage of that. If you manage to get lucky on like the Gogeta banner, for instance, and now you want to bolster your fused fighters a little bit more, you can go back and try to push for the Goku banner. And then on top of that, don't forget, we also are going to have the global Dokkan tickets usable starting in part 2. They had confirmed that it is a part 2 release, so I will do a whole video on that, but keep in mind, you will have a 44% chance to recruit the one character that you are seeking after. It could be the Goku Blue, it could be the Rose, it could be the Gogeta, it could be the Omega Shenron. It would be one of those, and you would have a boosted shot at doing it if you use 50 tickets. You're going to be getting 100 of these, so you can do this twice. So this is also a very good deal. So there are some really good things, really good opportunities here for people to potentially capitalize on. So looking at the banner art, so they show this in the data download. As expected, all the characters that we've come to expect for the part 2 are here. The counterparts to part 1, basically. We've got the Gogo Trunks counterpart in the Broly. We've got the Beast Gohan's counterpart in the Broly. We've got the AGL Vegeta's counterpart in the Tech Goku. So, Tech Vegito. Best unit from the 10th anniversary. So this guy being featured on Omega Shenron's banner is definitely good. Omega Shenron is worth pursuing. Some of you might wonder, is it worth summoning on one over the other? Both are obviously good. I think overall, though, I feel like collectively, actually, the Omega Shenron might be the better banner. While we're all just so fixated on Gogeta right now, I think arguably the Omega Shenron is going to be a better banner. So both banners are going to be worth summoning for. Those of you who might have been on the fence potentially about, whether or not you're going to be summoning, this is good for the future of Extreme Class. Very good for the future of Extreme Class. That's why this is a key piece, a pivotal piece for any starting account or anyone in general. So yeah, I just wanted to quickly touch on that. The rest of the characters will be revealed during the actual live stream. I'll be going live soon after this video gets posted. Will the AGL Omega Shenron be there? Unfortunately, since this guy is labeled as Omega Shenron, we are in fact looking at a situation where the AGL one gets the shaft. But still, like I said before, the good news is that if you don't manage to pull this guy, you still have a GT Boss's lead with that Omega Shenron, and you can still salvage together a decent decent GT Boss team with this guy as your friend lead. This guy being on your friend lead will provide a lot of support anyway. So I think it will be okay, but of course I haven't done the new content. This is just me, speculating early. We'll have to see who is ultimately featured on the rest of the banners. This is just the cover art. So real quickly, I'm just going to go over the stuff that they talked about in the Dokkan Now presentation. I didn't do a breakdown following it. I just talked about the new units on the previous video. So real quickly, they were talking about the LR Nova Shenron event. This unit is absolutely going to be cooking after the new Omega Shenron's release. They also are going to be adding new stages to the special battle. The crazy thing about this is that once you clear all the challenges, I think it's like the hardest difficulty one, you are going to be able to earn a title with both Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta and Blue Vegito on the title. I think a lot of people are going to find that very, very irritating, but I thought that was a funny thing that they pointed out. New stages to Perfect Cooperation Team Battle are also on the way. As expected, these events should be constantly getting regular updates. As I discussed before, 44% chance to recruit the featured characters. I will do a separate video for this. When I summon, I will not be doing this. I will be saving that for a separate video. I will be summoning, and hopefully we will be able to get these characters fully maxed out on the stream. Make sure you guys subscribe. So other crazy news, besides the limited boosted character, they are giving us a whopping 10 EZAs and Super EZAs. Now, unfortunately, when you look at the list here, you do not see the Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta. However, the fact that they are giving these characters a much needed boost, just a top to bottom overhaul of GT heroes and GT bosses. Just the GT part in general is a very good thing. Battlefield Legion of Shadow Dragons getting an EZA. This is huge for the future of GT bosses. This will work very well with the Omega Shenron, as both are big bad bosses. This guy can be another differently named character. Sin Shenron can run with the new Omega Shenron. He is a differently named character. Super Baby 2 will also be getting an EZA, and then more GT heroes. So no details yet on these guys. They said that these EZAs are going to be dropping sequentially or something like that. So I don't know exactly what that means. We don't have the details yet, but huge news. Super Saiyan 4 Goku and Vegeta, the second anniversary TURs, are in fact getting Super EZAs during this global Dokkan celebration. So now, after 1 year of Dokkan, we have covered Super EZAs for anniversary year 1 and anniversary year 2. So I think that we have set the precedent for what is likely going to be a push to have the Super EZAs ultimately become a 6-year gap from its initial release. So if we get to that point, I'd be very happy. Like, an anniversary releases a character, 3 years later that unit gets an EZA, 3 years after that the unit gets a Super EZA. If we can continually push to get to that point, I think that would be good. Either that, or by the time they get to that point, they come up with a new solution to this whole Super EZA thing, because the Super EZA system is meant to be a temporary fix. So these guys are going to be getting boosts, which is very nice. Also, Omega Shenron is getting a Super EZA. But yeah, no sign of Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta. Because they announced these 10, this actually could be it for part 2. I don't know if they'll be giving us more. I think these will just be showing up, you know, over the course of the celebration. But maybe in part 3, we'll get some sort of like a cleanup part where they give us a little bit extra for each of the first 2 parts. Maybe that LR Trunks and Vegeta gets an EZA after all. Maybe in Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta gets an EZA after all. Or maybe they shift to something else entirely. So I don't think that we're completely out of the woods as far as like certain characters you're maybe hoping for getting EZAs, but I do think that it's far less likely. But as long as these guys are good, this is just my opinion, as long as these guys are good, I personally don't mind if those units just don't get their upgrades just yet. It can just be something that we get down the road. And also think about it this way. I know some of y'all get annoyed when I talk about this, but Daima, in the future, Daima has to get content, right? When the Daima characters release, there are no other characters from Daima that could arguably get EZAs or Super EZAs. We would have to dip into other content. In order for that to happen, we would need some characters that could relate. What characters better to relate to Super Saiyan 4 Goku from Daima than GT? So I don't think that this is the end of the GT upgrade cycle. I think whenever we jump into Daima, maybe Tanabata, we could get some of the extra GT characters that you guys might have been waiting for. Maybe that in Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta could be the perfect unit to add onto the Daima Super Saiyan 4 Goku team or something like that. So I don't think that, you know, all hope is lost in that regard. Plus, there's plenty here to be happy about. I don't know if anybody's really too upset. Also, the last thing that I want to talk about here, the Dragonstone giveaway, we shattered the viewer goal. It is all because of Gogeta. Box office, we got our 30 Dragonstones. They said that they will be adding it into your gift box. Just like before, keep in mind, this will take some time. I would not be surprised if it took maybe 2 or 3 days. So if you are concerned that you did not get those 30 stones, you can also check your, I think you can check the history of the stones that you actually get. But more importantly, just give it a couple of days. Just like top grossing with Global, it takes some time. Likewise, when it comes to gifting stones and stuff from these live stream broadcasts, it can take a couple of days. So I know you guys are going to probably ask me on the live stream, but I'm just letting you know right now. So that is a full breakdown, real quick synopsis of everything that we had during the broadcast, plus the summons and when they are going to be starting. Should you summon? Yes. Yes. I'm not going to even make a video on that. The answer is yes. You should summon. These are going to be some of my best, like my favorite summons ever. Extreme Class got a really, really good unit. This is their new team captain right here. Omega Shenron. Well done. Sucks he's not Sin, but still, well done. Guys, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like down below. Let me know in the comments your thoughts on these 2 characters, the banners, the content, the announcements. What are you most excited about besides the obvious? So assuming you're excited about Omega, assuming you're excited about Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, which of the EZAs are you most excited for? Which of the banners are you considering summoning on with your special Global Dokkan tickets with that 44% boosted rate? Let me know your thoughts overall, anything that I've missed in the comments down below. Also be sure to subscribe for more content in the future and click the notification bell so that you'll let you know you want to see more of myself do it. Thanks again, stay tuned, and always remember to Dokkan responsibly.